What's up, YouTube? This is the Roman Atheist here, Romanus Atheist, and welcome to my weekly LGBTQ plus video on today on not marriage in general, mainly the Christian argument against gay marriage of like it's not how God created it to be. So again, the fact that God did, or in general, your religion in government matters shouldn't matter at all. 0%. If you care about the Constitution at all, you would agree with me in that case. Making laws based on your religious affliction, no matter what it is, should not be allowed. So when you base your want for a law or government dictation on gay marriage being banned, that goes against separation of church and state, which is kind of a no-go. Separation of church and state is very important and is extremely necessary just in general when it comes to governing, and is something that I'm very proud that our country in some ways at some point was able to figure out, but is kind of losing touch with that recently. Well, another reason why that statement made by Christians of God created marriage to be between a man and a woman doesn't really work. First of all, again, separation of church and state, that shouldn't be decided on legally, and Christians nor anyone else, nor any other religious group should have any say over what the laws of today are. So that's the first reason why legally there shouldn't be anything against gay marriage, and that's easy one to point out. I didn't clarify that especially well right out of the gate. So secondary reason, the God created marriage thing. Again, on this channel, the way my perspective is God doesn't exist, but even if he does exist, and even it wouldn't matter necessarily if that's the way God created it, because he didn't exactly articulate that very well, especially if it's the God of the Bible. So that's one thing to point out with his articulation in the Bible wasn't very clear, and all of these things about marriage are speculation. But then also, marriage is a term that in some fashion existed without any influence of Christianity. In Eastern religions and in Eastern faith, or just in Eastern culture, the concept of marriage is a thing, and actually a tighter-knit family unit exists there currently than here, which I'm not advocating for that. That's not necessarily something that is needed, but it is there. Now, with that already points out that marriage isn't a concept that only came from one faith tradition. It can come from many, but the concept of marriage actually has some major pagan roots. So if there's people out there that are against things because it has pagan roots, well then you should check yourself. Because even like the wedding ring, that's pagan. That's a very pagan ritual, and if I believe off the top of my head, it was very common in Celtic tribes, and again, don't quote me on that for sure. I just know that it's pagan, the wedding rings are, and I'm fairly certain that it was Celtic. belief systems that wedding rings came from. Weddings itself were fairly prevalent in all cultures in spite of their religion, so again, Christianity can't claim to have any special knowledge of because many faith traditions developed away from it. The monogamy of marriage, but then also polygamy as well has developed even within Christianity and Judaism. If you read the Bible, there are many characters that have more than one wives, and God seems to bless them, at least according to the Bible. So there would people who are against polygamy, which I don't really take a stance on too much, and if someone gives a good argument either way, I will be highly intrigued. But with marriage, it is not a distinctly between man and a woman thing at all, because there's no evidence of that historically predating Christianity, which marriage did predate Christianity. So again, marriage isn't your thing to mess with. Again, marriage is connected with the government, and the government is the one legalizing it, and currently they don't force churches to perform gay marriages, though I think they should remove the tax breaks churches give if they aren't open to performing gay marriages, or they should just remove those tax breaks in general, but that's a separate issue. Now, marriage. Well, I just thought of something really funny. You know the movie Princess Bride, and I'm going on a little tangent here when he goes, marriage. That I just thought of myself saying it that way. Now, I'm purposely being relatively vague in the way that I'm talking about marriage, because besides the fact that I said it's not between a man and a woman, and that people should respect gay marriages and LGBT marriages, I don't really. Marriage in general is just between two people. Or maybe not, it could be between multiple people, that is also possible. Now, I don't know if that is strictly I don't know if that's a good idea, I don't know if it's a bad idea. Again, I haven't done thorough enough research on polygamy, so that's a separate issue. There is evidence in ancient times of marriage between two men and marriage between two women, and it was always accepted to a fair degree, where it is very much less so once Christianity took over. So if you can't tell, marriage is a thing that isn't just Christian and shouldn't just be Christian, and historically wasn't just Christian, and so therefore Christians shouldn't have a say in what marriage is and shouldn't have a say what the government says what marriage is, because there should be a separation of church and state. And that is basically my summary of this entire video. If you guys enjoyed this, hope you enjoy it. I enjoy making these shorter ones. This one's about 9 minutes long. Have an amazing day. Peace.